This year for the Roblox anime community has been disappointing. From the multiple delays of many games, to huge scams left and right, and to many false promises. This year was absolutely terrible. However, when there is a lot of bad, sometimes there can be good, which is why I am happy to say that Jujutsu Infinite is releasing tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST. Convert that to your time because I don't know where you live, but yeah. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys what to expect on release, as well as teaching you guys the basics in this game, that when you guys do enter the game, you won't be completely lost. Hopefully, after this video, I'm not sure. Subscribe for all Jujutsu Infinite content, as well as join my Discord, because trust me, playing Jujutsu Infinite, you are going to need friends as you're going to be farming a lot. All right, let's begin. Welcome to Zen Forest. This is the universal hub for all Jujutsu Infinite players, and this is where you're going to be doing everything in the game, from missions to bosses to investigations to crafting and the storyline as well. Let's start off with missions. So missions are kind of like getting quick XP, and basically you have level 1 missions, you have level 60 missions, you have level 120, level 180, and then up to level 20. Well, level 240. The max level is 420, so it's not really recommended to keep grinding missions, as you're really supposed to be farming bosses and the investigations. But if you do end up grinding missions, you do have certain rewards you can get, such as vengeance, like unique robes and shit. If you go here, there's a whole axe you can get. There is, 2 axes that drop here. Umi Village, you can get jet black blade. You can get the staff. So if you do end up grinding missions from those chests, it has a chance of dropping these at a 0. The weapon's always the rarest, so you probably won't get it, but if you do get lucky, it might drop for you. All right, let's move on to bosses. So in total, as of right now, there are a total of 6 major bosses in Jujutsu Infinite, being the Finger Bearer, Ocean Curse, Soul Curse, Volcano Curse, Sorcerer Killer, and then Sukuna as the final boss. And each of these bosses have their own unique gear that they drop as well as cash, XP, and Mission Essence. Mission Essence helps you basically promote your grade. So when you start off the game, you're going to be grade 4, and then you're going to work your way up to special grade. And each of these bosses have different difficulties, so you can start off as easy, you can do medium, hard, and then there's Nightmare. Nightmare gives pretty much the best loot and gives you tons of cash, XP, and Mission Essence, as well as boosting the drops to like a whopping 1%. With the more players you farm, you do get extra luck, which is why it is highly recommended to farm bosses in large groups. If you end up soloing bosses, I mean, it'll probably take way longer, which is why a party is recommended. All right, so now we are on to investigations. Investigations are basically like mini dungeons that have their own like storyline, but basically you're doing the same thing in every single investigation. And in total, there's only 5 in game as of right now, which goes up to level 300. So it's not many, but you're gonna be doing this and bosses to get XP to basically do the storyline. And just as bosses, they do have their own drops and different weapons as well. So think as investigations as like a longer form of a mission, but you get more stuff out of it. All right, let's move on to crafting. Now, crafting is like a universal pity system for dungeons, missions, investigations. And basically, once you do an investigation, a boss, or even a mission, some materials might drop, which will allow you to craft basically anything from that set pool. So we have detention center here. You can craft one of these if you get like 200 keys or whatever. 200 is kind of wild, but I guess it might be worth it. I'm not really sure. Eyes of the Willpower, you got Finger Bearer, the Sukuna boss. You can craft basically his robe, his pants, his face. Sorcerer Killer, you can get Playful Cloud, Sorcerer Killer pants, Sorcerer Killer shirt, Soul Curse, Split Soul. You know what I'm saying? The sight that I have right now, the Volcano Curse, and then the Blood Sword. And you get these keys by doing the investigation. If you don't get the drop, it might drop the materials instead. So get enough materials, you can craft that, and that's basically your pity. So it's really either you get lucky or you put in the time to get the shit you want. So essentially your time isn't exactly wasted at all. All right, let's move on to Curse Market. Curse Market is going to be your best friend, because let's say you are farming tons of bosses, tons of investigations, tons of dungeons, and you have a bunch of useless shit in your inventory. You can turn all that into an item you might need. So like this, for example, you can turn into this. or even a domain shard, I would never ever do this because a domain shard is very, very good. But let's say for bridge keys, you can turn that to Playful Cloud. You know what I'm saying? You might be farming this investigation way too much. You got the item you wanted, and then you have a bunch of useless keys in your backpack. You can now turn that into another useful item, which is Playful Cloud. Maximum scrolls, again, I wouldn't probably do this at all for an energy nature scroll. And then a suit, which is, you can also get that from investigations as well. You can turn that into 5 demon fingers. So all in all, the curse market is basically so if you have a ton, and I mean a ton of useless shit in your inventory, come here and you might convert it into something you might want in the future. Now for the other stuff, you have AFK mode. This spot right here, this is where all of you guys are in because the game isn't open yet. But trust me, you do get chests so that when you do eventually log in, you see a bunch of chests around you. Just open those up. Might give you good shit, might not. And you also get spins here as well. So hopefully you guys are in AFK mode at this very moment, just farming up spins and items. Trade hub, just come in here, trade your items for item you might want. And then we have the comedian. Comedian is used to buy emotes. I forgot how many emotes are in game. I think I have a lot. Let me see. Yeah, that's curse standing. Change that. I have all this. Now we have the heavenly restriction NPC. If you have heavenly restriction, just talk to this NPC and you can just enable it or turn it off. There is going to be a free way to get it, but this is just if you have the game pass, you can turn it on and off. If you do get it the free way, you will be locked to heavenly restriction on that slot, meaning you can't turn it off, like your heavenly restriction, like forever. And then this is the storyline NPC. Press J. All storyline quests, they basically take place down here. Currently, I'm at the level 240 spot, but yeah, that is pretty much the basics. I don't want to touch into stats and leveling because they kind of changed it to where it's more complex. Not really complex, but it takes a lot more explaining to do, and I'm going to do that into the next video, which is the leveling guide, and which is also the starter guide, so that you guys can easily level up in this game without having too many questions. It will also go over domain expansions, maximum techniques, and I think really that's it, because mainly a lot of people have questions about domain expansion and maximum techniques. Not every curse technique in this game has a domain expansion, and there are fewer curse techniques that have a maximum technique. I think only 3 techniques have maximums as of right now, so I'm going to cover that all in the next one. If you don't want to miss that video, I highly recommend subscribing, turning on post notifications, but of course it's really up to you. Join my Discord too, because I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna need a group of people to farm these bosses, especially for the items you want, bro. Like, you just get it quicker. More luck equals more rarity, you know, it's just RNG. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.